Hello, welcome back to one of my videos. My name is Momoka, but you can call me Mo or Momo. You may notice the accent, and it's because I'm from Spain. I also speak three languages: Spanish, English, and Italian. And I moved to the United States in 2010. I finished all my graduation degree and everything back in 2009, and I have a graphic design degree. That's who I am. Now, today's video is something completely bizarre. I never expected that it's gonna blow up on the way that it did. It was May 14th, and my boyfriend was just like scrolling down on Instagram, just watching reels, and I was just like playing Dark Souls. It was pretty chill. But then he showed me this reel of a Spyro statue just in an abandoned building. Like, I'm just gonna show it to you over here. That is what I saw, and on top of that, I was playing Dark Souls, so it's just like I can't pause the game, I can't watch it properly. So I had to let my character die because I was like, I saw a Spyro, it's an abandoned building, what is going on? So pretty much like I let my character die so I can watch that properly. He mentioned that the Spyro was in St. Helens, so when he told me that, I was like, dude, that's 45 minutes from us. Like, we need to figure out what is going on and why Spyro is there. I had to quit the game because I want to start investigating all this immediately, and I think I'm gonna post it over here, but I think it was like 10:30 at night, something like that, when he sent me the reel, and that is when we pretty much like discovered that Spyro was locked in an abandoned building in St. Helens, Oregon. I keep commenting on the reel, just asking if he can give me an address, or if he doesn't want to give me like exactly address, if he can tell me if there is a ice cream store nearby or a Walmart, or anything that I can just start looking for it. And I also remember saying to him, hey, can you message me on, like, private on Instagram? And he was like, sure, but he never did. He was just using all this for views, likes, or whatever. Honestly, you don't need to give the address like 100%, but it would be helpful if you at least say, well, the statue is near this place, It's just like every time that people were saying something like, okay, what is the address, or any type of question, he was just like shutting down and not answering. Like, I'm not gonna tell you. Some people were kind of like pissed about it because it's just like, you are just freaking gatekeeping a statue, like a 15 long statue. What are you gonna do with this statue? Like, seriously. There is a lot of people that they were offering help, and he was like, no, I'm not gonna tell you anything about it. So, man, that's really fucked up. Sorry, I'm thirsty. So I took matter into my hands, and I decided just to use my sweet time that I should be sleeping in that time, just to look for information. So this guy say by accident that is in St. Helen, that is in an abandoned building, and that is in a grocery store. So I use this little orange guide that on Google Maps that you can just put it on the map, and then you supposed to be kind of like walk. So I used that, and I managed to find the building, and guess what? It was not a supermarket, it was a freaking gas station. So I had no idea why this guy say a supermarket, because that thing doesn't look like a supermarket at all. This video, it was taken after I took a Spyro, just a couple days later. So you guys see, it's all boarded up. You cannot see like a Spyro from the outside. You can only see him through the window on the door. So it was just like, how? The sad part about this is that people actually try to break in, because when I went over there the first time, the windows were all messed up, like they bust up, and that's also one of the main reasons that they board up the entire building. But it's just like, yeah, you're gonna break in, and what are you gonna do? Lock inside a freaking abandoned gas station with a 15-foot long freaking dragon. What are you gonna do? Take him out of the window like, whoosh, dragon out of the window? Like, it's not that easy. I wish it was that easy, but it's not. I spent the next few hours searching for the property owner, and finally I found a name. And after I found the name, I started looking on the yellow pages and on Google search, and I found 2 phone numbers. Now the problem with the phone number is that they didn't know how old are those phone numbers. Maybe the phone number is like 10 years old, who knows? That's the thing. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna hold this phone number and I'm gonna call in the morning while I'm driving to work. I wake up and I was like completely shaking, because who in the world is gonna call you at 8 in the morning asking about why do you have a Spyro the Dragon like in your gas station? These guys are gonna probably think that I'm freaking crazy. Like what is going on? I decided to start driving, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna give it a call. I called the first phone number, it didn't went through, so I was like, well, that's freaking terrific. And I called the second one, and finally it went through. I was like terrified, like, god damn it, what do I ask now? I asked for like, hey, are you this person? And he said, yeah, I'm this person. The second question was, do you own this property in St. Helens? And he was like, yeah, I forgot that I own that property. I purchased that property in 2021, and I completely forgot about it. And I was like, oh my fucking god, how do you forget that you own a gas station? So when he got the building on 2021, Spyro was already inside. He was using this building for storage and do some work or whatever. I had no idea. But the Spyro was already inside when he got the building. The thing is, he didn't know that the Spyro was a dragon because the wings were not attached to his body. So for this man, Spyro was just like a gecko. And I feel bad for Spyro. But anyway, I give a little description of who was Spyro and where was this statue before. Like, he was in the E3 in 2000 for the Year of the Dragon. So after explaining to him who was Spyro and where was this play, he said to me, you are the only person that ever called me and asked me for this statue. And then he said, I had no idea about this statue, I had no idea about video games, but what I know for sure is that since you know who this dragon is, I think you should be the one keeping it. So I just want to give it to you. Now when he said that I should be the one taking Spyro, I was like freaking internally like crying, screaming, shitting, throwing up. I was like almost terrified. But at the same time I had to focus on the road. So we keep talking and talking, and then we agreed that we are gonna meet up on Monday just to take Spyro out of the gas station and try to figure out what are we gonna do with that, because everything was like super fast. I think all this was on a Thursday, so I had to, like, after the phone call, I had to plan everything like really fast. I had to find a storage, I had to find a track that is like, the worst thing about this is that I didn't know the actual size of a Spyro. So looking for a storage and looking for a track when you had no idea how big that thing was, that was a big problem. So I still agreed to meet him on Monday. So I called my boyfriend and I told we had a green light, we are taking a Spyro on Monday. Now the problem is, since we don't know the actual size, we need to see a Spyro through the door, because the owner was not going to be in St. Helens until Monday. So we were like, okay, well, we need to see a Spyro through that door and just get an estimate of a size. So we drove after I was off from work. I was like, I'm terrified, because the problem is I have a phobia, and when in an abandoned, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain but when you're in an abandoned building and everything is dark and you see like a statue or like a unknown object, like a airplane or whatever, but you don't know what is it and it's all dark, that is like really really scary for me. So when we arrived over there, I told my boyfriend to look through the door for me, like, because I was like, I'm not gonna look through the door right now until I know that he is there. When my boyfriend looked through the door, he was like, Julia, this thing is huge. Yes, my name is Julia, but don't use it. But yeah, he said this thing is huge, and I was like, are you kidding me? So he let me look on the door, on the window, and he wasn't kidding. Like, Spyro was fucking huge. On the video, you see him like tiny and all that, but it's just like, god damn it, what I'm gonna do with this is like, it was massive. And the problem is, you can see, like, you see him through the door, but you can see like the actual size until you are like pretty much like in front of him. So now that we have kind of like the actual like size, we can kind of like get the right size for the truck and the right storage. But I was like terrified because I was like, oh my god, what I'm gonna do? I was like, I don't even know what to do. I didn't know he was that big, but I didn't care about that because I was like, Spyro is leaving this place on Monday, one way or another. So that was my goal. So after seeing his size, I keep like almost like crying and saying, keep like pointing at the door and Spyro and saying, why he's there? Why he's there? Like over and over. I probably say it like 7 times. And my boyfriend was just like laughing, and we ended up kind of like leaving because I didn't want people to think that we are trespassing when we are just like kind of like looking, but I didn't want to get in trouble. So I was just kind of like there, taking some pictures because I want to post this on Reddit and get more information about how Spyro ended up over there. So after I took all the pictures and videos, I post this video on Reddit and on Twitter, and I didn't expect that thing is gonna blow up in in that way, like completely. And it made me so happy that there is a lot of people that share amazing stories about this statue and where it was, and that it was in an arcade. But I want to save all these stories for my second video because this video is about how we found Spyro and how he was rescued. The story about how Spyro was kind of like leaving behind, that's for the second video. I'm just gonna save it for that because I don't really want this video to be like 1,000 years long. So let's just gonna do that. So the weekend was a completely mess because I keep like want to drive all the way to St. Helen just to see Spyro. I went over there over and over and over just to see him through the door, like not like in person or anything like that, just through the door. Because what if this person changed his mind? You know, I am a very negative person, and there is a thousand of what if. Like, what if this person changed his mind? Or what if this person, something happened to him? Or what if he asked me for $10,000? I don't know, million things. And life is being really hard for me already, so I kinda know already. So that's the reason I keep like driving back and forth to St. Helen just in case. But on Sunday, he gave me a phone call and he said that we had the green light to pick up Spyro. So I was like crying that day. I was like, this is freaking amazing. So I had to work on Monday, obviously. We agreed to pick up Spyro after I was off from work. So my boyfriend was already off from work and he kind of had to wait for me. So once I was off from work, I picked him up and then we drove all the way to St. Helen, which I was like shaking and I was like driving like if I was in freaking GTA. I'm sorry. So when we were getting close, I was joking and I say, can you imagine if Spyro was already outside waiting for us?
Leah says that place is good. Dinner.
Okay.
He's already out.
Oh my god, he's already out. No way. Oh my god. Dude, that was a freaking joke. But I didn't know that they are gonna load up Spyro for us, so I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, he's already outside. He was beautiful, that's for sure. The colors, they're faded, but it's just like the statue is in really good condition. It's been, how old is that? The statue, 26 years old, and it's been on that gas station since 2021. And surprise, surprise, we also found the wings, as you can see over here, showing a little bit, and then the wings were already set up on the back of the truck, so that was really good. It was not kind of like a big deal if he doesn't have the wing because we can always work something out. But that was really cool that we found the wing, so Spyro is complete. After I got out of the car, the first thing that I did was giving a big hug to Spyro. I didn't care he was covered in dust or spiderweb because I felt like a big connection between this statue and me. I don't know how, I don't know. But I took a quick pictures and videos and I focused myself on the owner because it's all because of him. Like, he could say no and then Spyro will be stuck in that building forever, you know? But he said yes, and I'm really, really happy and grateful for him to let me take a Spyro. So I introduced myself and I explained to him more about the video game, about the Spyro. I say that I'm planning to fix him like Spyro have. You can see on the video properly, but there is some damage on the statue, like there is paint missing, there is some parts missing. It needs to have at least a tiny, it needs to be fixed a little bit. But I told the owner that Spyro is planning to be displayed on the Retro Expo convention in Portland. It's not like Spyro is gonna be just sitting in a storage or never seen the sun again. It's not gonna be like that. Like, I'm planning to take this statue everywhere with me. So if I need to buy a bigger house with a garage just for Spyro, I will do it. I showed to the owner the pictures of the statue, like where it was displayed the first time ever. I say that it was on the E3 on the year 2000 and it was for the last Spyro video game, which it was the Year of the Dragon. I didn't really want to give that much detail because he already said that he doesn't have that much idea about video games, so I didn't really want to overwhelm him. He's a really old guy, so I understand, because it's like if I'm talking about Dark Souls or Sekiro or Elden Ring or whatever with my grandma. Like, she's gonna think that everything is Pikachu. So it's just like, it's okay. The main goal is that he was happy that the Spyro is going to a good place, that is gonna be around with a lot of people in the future, so that's the reason he gave it to me, because otherwise he will just be stuck in the freaking building. Also, I forgot to mention that he was given a the statue for free, but I didn't want to take the statue for free, so yes, I pay some money. I'm not gonna say how much, but I offer to pay because I'm not the type of person to just take something like that for free, because I don't know, it doesn't feel right for me, and I didn't really want to feel like I'm taking advantage of somebody that doesn't have any idea. Like the first time that I called him, I explained to him like this statue it was displayed in this time and this year, promoting this video game. So he could just investigate and say, okay, well, the statue it could be worth, I don't know, like $5,000, $10,000. I don't know. He can choose the price. So that's the reason I say that he can change his mind anytime from Thursday to Monday. So since he didn't ask for money or anything like that, I decided to just give some money to him because I felt it was right. I also showed to him all the comments on Reddit and Twitter because I want to show how many people were waiting for this moment. So it's not like I'm all full of bullshit and I was saying all this to him. It's just like no, like there is thousands of people that want this out, and he was like really happy seeing this tattoo finally out of his storage, well, his gas station. But you guys understand me. We were getting ready to leave, and there was a bunch of people waiting, like taking pictures, and there was even a DoorDasher driver that she just stopped the car on the middle of the highway because she was like, please, 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 I want to take a picture. I had to stop. I took a picture of her. She was really happy. Like, I don't mind to take a picture. It was just a moment. But I feel bad because Spyro didn't have his wings on that moment. And he was all tied up because on the truck. But when we were driving, there is a lot of people like driving and taking pictures, and one of them almost rear-ended another driver. So it's just like, dude, just focus on the freaking road. I already know you are flipping because you see this big purple dragon. That was crazy. There is a ghost baby.
Now bear left towards St. Helens Street.
So Spyro is officially under my care now. My main goal is to repair his eye, and he also have a few damage. I want to show it to you guys over here. I'm just gonna cover myself so you guys are not gonna see me, but the main goal is the eye. I'm gonna fix that as much as possible. We already know the materials of this tattoo is made. We already have the paint, so that's perfect. Spyro will be displayed at the Retro Expo Gaming Convention in Portland, Oregon. I will do my best. I know it's really expensive, but I don't really care. Also, please don't spam me that you wanna buy him because I got a bunch of message on the first day, even when he was in the truck, that you wanna purchase him. Like, no, dude, I'm not gonna sell him. I want to fix it. I wanna display him. Let me just have it. I have my own goals. I have my own ideas, and I have gaming companies that actually reach out to me for this thing. So I'm not gonna sell this tattoo. Just don't ask me. If you have any question, like, you can always reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram. My username is momokarage. I'm gonna put it over here just in case. But just please be respectful. Don't insult. Don't threaten me because I've been getting a lot of shit for that. As soon as I see something, block and I delete it because I don't really need to deal with that. Just because of freaking statue. Do you think you're making Spyro happy saying those mean things to somebody? No, he'll be like really disappointed about you, man. If you like this video, just give a thumbs. If not, it's okay. You can leave a comment, you can subscribe. You guys already know the drill, it's always the same. I barely post videos, but I will do my best posting this time. Second video is gonna be about why Spyro ended up in that building, so you better subscribe. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Bye. Have a good night.